Have you ever tried to add a character to your game, but it remained completely still, without animation and lifeless? I am Mask. In today's vid, I will show you exactly how to transform a 3D model, static humanoid, into a fully playable character. In Unreal Engine 5, go rigging to animation retargeting, and in the end, you will see character currently moving within our test map. Alright, so stay until the end, as process can save a lot of time on your project. If you enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. Previous video, we transformed an image into a 3D model, but there's no point in adding this model to the game because it doesn't have a skeletal structure, which is rigging, so it won't be able to move. In today's video, I will teach you how to add skeletal structure and then just animate this character. Initially, let's take that folder right over there, please. That was downloaded as a zip, and let's unzip it. After unzipping, let's go to the PBR folder. Inside here, we have the base.fbx file located. And the textures, we will use all these files. To start this process, let's start with the character skeleton structure. And for that, we will use the program AccuRIG. Let's simply import the base object into the program, where it will be loaded and our model will appear. The AccuRIG. It greatly simplifies and effectively streamlines the bone creation process. In our character structure, just a few steps, and we can already visualize various different models. Some bone models such as the femur and tibia, and see their positions. Note that each of these little circles corresponds to a position whose model up there in the top right corner that can point us to the correct spot where there should be a bend or where exactly the movement should be positioned. For example, at the wrists, we notice it's a little bit above. So just move it just a tiny bit more, a little bit down. Here on the right, option called symmetry, which will maintain symmetry between both sides. It's usually the best function, so we leave it checked. And here, it will precisely position the two small circles at the same point, on the left side and the right side. Often, usually only a few adjustments are needed. And sometimes, no adjustment is necessary at all. Here, most of the points are okay. I believe I will just move it a little more to the side here. A little bit more down here. A little more down here. Notice that it follows more or less how the model is up there, right? When you hover the mouse over it, it shows you where the character's movement fold will be. The others seem okay. Move on to hands. It asks how many fingers there are. If you notice, the model we created by chance doesn't have fingers. It has closed fists. Often, you will typically create models such as those that will have typically the number of fingers, either of a human or a humanoid, depending on how you design your image. This time we will use 0 fingers. This will make the work much easier, and fingers are a big problem when we do retargeting, even if we shape the fingers in a variety of different ways. Of our new character to the models already exist in Unreal Engine. It often happens that the weapons don't fit properly. The animations don't work properly at certain times. This is common. Just move forward and let's wait for it to place the bones. Shortly, our character is literally already moving. Here it shows some animations like it's perfect. Here we can already see if the legs are okay. If the arms are okay, it looks amazing. This movement is perfect. See if it does anything else. A cool fighting stance. Alright, everything worked out. Let's choose a pose. I suggest exporting in this pose. It's called the A pose, also known as the T pose. Pose, because it is a standard pose of the Unreal Engine, and it makes it easier for us to do the retargeting by exporting with this position. Click on Export, Export FBX, select Mark Unreal. and export. It asks you to choose a folder. Choose your folder. Preferably, I will choose a folder here from the project and go with that folder. All set. The character has already been exported. Now let's move on to the import part for Unreal Engine. With Unreal Engine open, let's create a new project. Select games such as third person. In this context, let's name it retargeting. And click on create. With the new project created, we already have some options from the third person, and it is part of the template, so it already comes with, for example, the characters folder where we have mannequins from Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5. We will use the third person initially. Let's place it on the map by hitting play. It can already move. We will use retarget on this model, which already has movement. Let's very carefully drag the files from that little folder that we have previously created and prepared with the model already rigged into our game environment, and precisely with utmost care and precision. Let's create a new folder. Give it a name and import the files here. Select all except the JSON. The JSON is not necessary and can cause some issues. Just drag it here. Some errors will appear here, just ignore them. It's always good to click on reset. Then import. After a few minutes, notice that it has been imported, but the textures did not come along. We go back to the folder, select all, and import them together. After that, we need to create the material. The material comes as default. We double click to open it. And we will edit it. Basically, we need to put those textures into this material. So we will delete what's here. Here's the entire structure. And we will import those images. You can click here in Content Browser, find the new folder, and carefully place the texture files in here. From this point, we will use these 4 textures, and we will not use the PBR, so drag them all up here, and precisely. And now we will place each one in a different spot. This first one is the base. It's basically the skin, the base of the character. Here it will already give that golden armor tone. I usually place 2 over here. Let's check the names here. Right, this one is roughness. We place it here. The blue one is the normal map. Connect it with this part down here. And this other one is the metallic. With that, we finish our material. Close it. The base character already has the material applied to it. Now, right, it's already quite similar to the model we set up there. In the export in Hyper 3D. With this, we can start our retargeting process. Let's go. The retargeting process essentially involves the careful process of aligning and matching the skeletal structure of a new character with that of an old character. In other words, this third-person prototype that we have, it already has a movement structure. Therefore, it's much easier for us to reuse this movement structure than to create a new one from scratch. I'm going to teach you a great trick that will save a lot of time on your project. Here in the mannequin folder, there's the rigs folder, where there are already some ready-made retargets. In this case, we want exactly this last one here, which is Manny from Unreal version 5 to version 4. Our character, when exported from AccuRIG, comes in the model 4. With this retargeting ready, there's a little secret here that I'm going to teach you, which will speed up this retargeting process. Let's copy this IK retargeter file and the AccuRIG. Let's copy these 2 files and place them in the folder of our new character. Rename the 2 files to make them easier to find. Let's open the first one, which is the AccuRIG. You can see that it is in the same position as our character. If we just change here to our new character, it is already in the same position. Just save it. And the first AccuRIG is already ready. In other words, the bones of our character are already mapped. Let's move on to the second part. In this part, this is where the movement of the first character is matched with the second character. Here, we will select our new character. And that's all you need. Just save it. And here we can already see some movement. If we select Preview Scene, use specific animation, and select some animation like walk, for example. The selected animation, just click on Running Retarget. We can close it and let's place it on the map. I almost forgot there's one more step left. Here in the characters folder, on top of the base where the skeletal mesh is, right-click, click on Create. Anim, Blueprint. This is the character's animation. Just double-click. Let's drag it a bit over here. Here we won't need to create any structure. We will simply use the retarget. Type retarget from, and select retarget pose from mesh. Just connect it with this result. Up here, there's the details tab, select, and in IKE, retarget asset. We should select the retarget we just created, which is the one ending with armor. And there you go. Now, yes, the character can be added to the map. Let's make a modification to the third-person character itself. Let's make a copy of it, place it in the same folder. Let's open it. And inside here, we will add another skeletal mesh. Select mesh and select the button. And here, type skeletal. It will already appear below. We can leave it with this name. Now, very important. Pay close attention at this point. Click on mesh. Go here to the details section. Type Vis. Uncheck the visible option. And in the visibility-based animation option, click and select the first option, always, tick pose and refresh bones. This is extremely important. It needs to be set to this option. Then, we can click again on the skeletal mesh. Remove the filter at the top by clicking the X, and here we will select our new character. And here, in Anim class, we will select the animation we just created. It will always have the same name as the character, unless we change it. And here is this animation. Now, our character is all set. You can click here on Viewport and already see it in the same position as that other character was. Let's compile. Let's delete this character from the map and place our new character. Don't forget to search for pause here in search. Why? Normally, when we place a character on the map, it comes as auto process, player disable, and it needs to be on player 0 for our control to take possession of this player. And that's it. Here is our player. Its movement is perfect because it is exactly copying the movements of the other character, and we already have a fully playable character. In the same week, Epic Games released this fantastic map for us. I even made a video here on the channel showing the day we got it. And I will use it to have a little fun. Here, I've already added our new character, and let's see how it looks. This is already the structure of my game, so it's very easy to add new maps or new items for us to test. Look at the reflection on this armor. This is amazing, man. Do you remember or not remember Senseiya? It definitely does. I added several new lighting points here on the map because it was very dark before. Just so we can see better, really, because the level of detail the artist had was very high, and it wasn't visible in the original version. Let's hit these guys here. The combat system still needs a lot of refinement. Look at the special move. Very good, very good. When this combat system is refined, it will be amazing to play. This one is hard to take down, huh? It worked. Let's go This whole part here that I'm going to show now was very dark in the other video, and it couldn't be seen. Look at the reflections. Look at the size of the boss I placed here. Wow, it almost doesn't fit here. Look at the details. I added all this lighting, even though this level of lighting doesn't make much sense down here. But it's more so we can actually see the work of the creator of this scenario, and it was incredible. Seriously, look at the details. There, the mini-boss has already fallen here. I haven't yet made a structure of special HP for the boss in the game. But it will definitely be interesting when I add some dramatic music, something like that. When we're navigating in here, the cameras get a bit complicated since they hit the wall. Later on, I will make some modifications to the camera to switch to first person or something like that when it bumps into the wall. Let's go down here. Look at the details the creator put here. None of this could be seen in the other video. It almost looks like a false wall here. You could make some kind of secret passage, something like that. And it was quite a lot. There are several corridors that were placed here, and you couldn't see absolutely anything. Everything was turned off, all dark. So I started adding these light points. We can add them through the builder, even if it doesn't make much sense. I went on adding them here. And I also placed several enemies around the map to have a little fun, and it turned out quite interesting, quite fun already. It already looks a lot like the game. I think I will end up using this map here in my game. Especially for those who are starting, there's a lot to study, and they are always worried, oh, I'm going to take a long time to build a map because I have to study this. I don't know how to build. I don't know how to do lighting. Don't worry too much about that, because you need to start from where you most want to start. So just start. And there are many things already done. Take what's ready and use it in your game. Don't worry. If you know how to make a level to make everything perfect, no one will get it right, everything perfectly at the beginning. So it's not worth worrying about that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below to share your thoughts, and have an amazing day.